Welcome back, students. Today we're going to continue learning strategies for adding and subtracting three-digit numbers. And the strategy we're focusing on today is called using an open number line. Let's take a look at our learning goal. Today's goal is that I can solve addition and subtraction equations by using an open number line. Specifically today we're looking at three-digit addition and subtraction equations. Let's take a look at our sample equation. This poster shows us the strategy name, a sample equation, and this is what our number line will look like when we're finished. When we use a number line with this strategy, we don't write every single number, but since we're adding, we just start at our beginning number and we'll count on the number line to add more. Let's take a closer look. All right. I'm solving the equation 415 plus 136, and I'm finding the unknown total. So here are my steps. First, I have to start at one addend. It doesn't really matter which one it is because I'm adding on. So I'm going to start at this high number here, 415. That way I only have to add 136. So I can actually start my number line at my first addend. Okay, next I'm going to add my groups of hundreds and then tens, and finally I'll add the ones later. So in this addend here, I'm only supposed to add 100. So I'm going to skip on my number line and I'm going to actually add 100 at a time. So in my brain I know I just added 100. If I add 100, that will take me to 515 because I just added 100 in the hundreds place. Looking back at my addend, I'm supposed to add 3 tens. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. For each of these, I'm adding 10. So if I look at 515, I just added a 10. That means now I have 525. And then, of course, I'm adding 10 more. That's 535. Adding one more 10 brings me to 545. Okay? Looking back at my addend, I know I have to then add the ones. So, I have 6 ones to add. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These I can just add on in my head. So if I started at 545, that's 546, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51. That means I have a total of 551. The number I stop at, that's the sum. So I know that 415 plus 136 is equal to 551. At this point, I could stop and I could add it another way to check my work and make sure that the sum is correct. Alright, with a blank piece of paper or your whiteboard or anything you have to write on at home, I want you to try one of these addition equations using an open number line. So I'd like you to do these two addends. Go ahead and take 232 and I want you to try adding 146. See if you can find the sum of those two numbers. You can start by drawing a simple number line on your paper like this and keep track as you add. After you've solved your equation, go ahead and check back in with the video and see how you did. Go ahead and press pause now and try solving. Okay, on your number line, you probably started with 232. And then you probably added 146. That's how I'm going to solve it now. I'm going to do it the quick way so you can check your work. So I began at 232, and I looked at my new addend. I have to add 100, so I skip 100. That gives me not 200, but 332. I need to add 4 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 332, and then 342, 352, 362, 372. Finally, I have to add 6 ones, so I'm going to count those as I go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's okay if you go a little over, I did anyway. So that's 372, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, and 78. So 378 is my total sum. Is that what you got? If so, great job. Let's take a look at something new. We can use this same strategy to help us solve subtraction problems. So on the next screen, we're going to look at 376 minus 239 and find the difference. You'll notice the number line is going to look pretty much the same, except this time I'm counting back because we're taking away. Let's take a closer look. Okay. Again, we're working with subtraction with the open number line strategy. And here's our equation. We're going to start with 376 and we're going to take away 239. Here comes our tricky vocabulary again. Our first step in subtracting is to start with the minuend. That's the amount that I start with. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my number line. And since I'm going to be taking away, I'm actually going to start over here because I need to leave space to take away. So I know I'm starting with 376. Now my next step is to subtract groups of the hundreds and then tens. So looking at my subtrahend, I know I have to take away 2 hundreds. Right now I have 3 hundreds. So as I count back on my number line, 1 jump, 2 jumps, I'm taking away 100 each time. So let's record how far that takes us on the number line. If I started with 376 and I took away 100, that means now I have 276. My tens and ones aren't changing because I'm only taking away 100. If I do another jump, taking away another 100, I'll be left with 176. And I've taken away all my hundreds, so now I'm ready to look at my tens. This subtrahend tells me to take away 3 tens. Let's make our 3 10 jumps. 1, 2, 3. So my digit in the tens place is the only one changing now because I'm taking away 10 here, 10 here, and 10 here. So with that first jump from 176 taking away 10, that's going to leave me with 166. Taking away 10 more is 156. And 10 more is 146. Notice my tens digit was getting lower because I'm taking away. Okay, my last stop is my ones. I have to take away 9 ones. You ready for that? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Geez, my number line is always a tad too short, but that's okay. Now I'm going to count these in my head. I'm not going to write every single one out. So here we go, 146, and I'm counting down, 145, 144, 43, 42, 41, 40. I'm going to write that one down because I'm crossing over a 10. And then I'm going to keep counting down. 139, 138, 137. That means that my difference is 137. So I started at the minuend and I subtracted groups of hundreds, tens, and then finally my ones on the number line to get a difference of 137.